What's goody? It's your host Jay Rose as always, and week 1 of the NBA season has wrapped up, and I'm here to give y'all my power rankings, which teams I think are the favorites in this very moment. Let's get into it. Over 90% of the people that watch my content are not subscribed, so if you're messing with the videos, please hit that sub button and the noti bell so you'll get notified every time I upload. But let's get back to the hoops. Now, before we start off the power rankings, I want to give my week 1 MVP, and honestly, I'm going to give my week 1 MVP to Anthony Davis. Huge performances from Anthony Davis. The Lakers look like a completely revamped team this year. JJ Redick has that offense moving like a well-oiled machine. They are not in my top 5, but they are absolutely close, and Anthony Davis has been playing MVP level basketball from go. Offensive side of the ball, defensive side of the ball, he's dropping 35, 37 points per game, getting 3-4 blocks. He's going off right now, and he's by far the best player on the Lakers, and I think that's impressive with LeBron being on your squad. So shout out AD. He is my week 1 MVP, but let's get to these power rankings. At my number 5, this team is here because of a player that I feel like took a huge step to start the season and just looks super duper dominant, and he looks like a number 1 pick that should be getting a lot more press than he currently is, and this is the Orlando Magic and Paolo Banchero. Honestly, after that 50 ball, I don't have much to say. I think that 50 ball spoke for itself, having 37 in the first half and in the game with 50 points, looking absolutely dominant among another young star in Tyrese Halliburton and completely eclipsing his game. Paolo has looked awesome since go as well, and honestly, I can definitely see where this team could get better. I feel like they could use a better scoring guard. I don't think Jalen Suggs and Cole Anthony and Anthony Black, while I do want to give credit to Anthony Black because he's been putting in a lot more pain, and Jalen Suggs also just got paid. But I think they could definitely get better in that guard spot if they really wanted to round out this team and take them to the next level. But Paolo by himself, I feel like, can push this team farther than they went last year, just with him being better as a player, and he's showing that so far in this season. My number 4 spot, I feel like I get flack every single time I talk about this team, but I don't care because we're good now, so I'm going to talk about us. Thank you. At number 4, I have the Dallas Mavericks, and I think 4 is a great spot for us so far. Honestly speaking, I've watched every Maverick game except for the Jazz game, and honestly speaking, just watching us play, we're not playing amazing basketball as a unit right now. We'll have games where Kyrie goes off, like last night. Kyrie gets 35. Luka gets 24 points on like 22 shots. It's nasty work. And Klay Thompson was also struggling from the field, but our defense was really, really good. We got PJ Washington to turn up. We got a lot of contributions off the bench. Our centers are showing up, and we find a way to win games. So, in my opinion, being 3-1 so far to start the season with wishy-washy performances so far, I think that's scary for the rest of the league. I think once the offense really comes in and Luka and Kyrie and Klay can all get a good game and blow up on you, I think that's a game that almost every team in the NBA loses, considering how well we're playing with that not happening at this very moment. Are we coming pretty decently close to it? Sure. If Luka can just hit a couple more shots here, Klay hit a couple more shots here, we're having a different story. We're having blowouts games. But as of right now, the pieces are close to clicking. They're not fully clicked yet, but I see the vision, and we're 3-1. So, hey, let's keep up the good work. At my number 3 spot, I have the Cleveland Cavaliers, and honestly, you can argue me higher, especially because of right now. They're actually beating the Lakers by like 20 points right now, and yeah, that's kind of crazy. The Lakers have, like I said, have been a really good team to start off the season. So for you to be up that big on the Lakers, the score is 68-89 right now. They're going crazy. So yeah, I just feel like the Cavs have a pretty different feel this year. This is another team that I feel like hasn't really played up to their best standard every single night, and they're finding ways to win games. Donovan Mitchell has been really, really good to start the year. Of Darius Garland, he's been up and down, and I feel like Jared Allen and Evan Mobley have been kind of taking, not especially Mobley, not taking a ton of shots, but he's being efficient with the ball. Both of them being very efficient with the ball, and they're finding ways to win games. The Cleveland Cavaliers are a team that I was very critical of coming into the season, so to see them start off the season really well, actually, I like to see that, especially because I'm just a guy who, listen, I'm not talking down on any team. They have good wins on their record already. They beat, well, honestly, they have a good win on their record, which was the Knicks, but that's a great team. You beat a great team. Then they beat the Pistons, Raptors, Wizards, and they're playing the Lakers right now, which is another good team, and they're up 20. So, listen, they're going in and they're doing what they need to do. I do need to see them play against more competition. Obviously, season just started, but for the first week, you can definitely argue me Cleveland has been a top 3 team in the league. They're kind of just beating who's in front of them right now. Still undefeated, one of the only undefeated teams in the NBA, so they absolutely deserve the spot. At my number 2 slot, the Oklahoma City Thunder, man. The Thunder just look good, bro. The Thunder just look really, really good. You got Shea going off for 30s, and then you got Chet on the other hand giving you 25 and 8, and then you still got J-Dub, you got all these other guys, and their rotation is so good. OKC is one of the only teams where I feel like that whole roster can hoop, and it's scary because they got that roster, that nice young roster, and they got like 20 odd picks to just trade at any moment they want to, and they can get anybody they want. OKC is in the best position in the NBA by far, and the fact that they're good at the general age of the team right now is absolutely ridiculous because they have so much draft capital and so much opportunity to make moves, and they don't even have to do anything yet because they're good already. That's so crazy. Once again, one of the only undefeated teams in the NBA. They've just looked good, bro. They looked exactly how I thought they would look coming into this NBA season. They're just showing everybody that they're contenders and they're for real this year, and honestly, I love that for them, bro. I love the fact that they can really take this next step and we can look at them as a contender instead of a team that's just up and coming. I feel like this year they're definitely a more feared team than they were last year. They got a big win against the Nuggets. They're going to play the Spurs tonight, which I think is a pretty decent matchup. And you know what I'm saying? Good on the Thunder, man. Good on the Thunder. I absolutely love to see them win games, even though they are one of the rival teams in the Western Conference, but absolutely cooking right now. My number 1 team in the power rankings, we all know who number 1 was before you clicked on this video, and it's the Boston Celtics. From Go, the Celtics have just been on go mode, and I know it's really easy to look like you're on go mode when you're playing the Wizards, but even that first game with the Knicks, it was just a different level. Jason Tatum hitting every single shot, and honestly, if I didn't pick Anthony Davis, Jason Tatum was right there for my first week MVPs. Jason Tatum absolutely looked beyond anything I've seen from Jason Tatum throughout this first week. Like, he honestly just looks like he's on a different planet. He wants to have his comeback story this year, and I feel it. I love the quality basketball. I love the good hoops, the good hoops from JT, good hoops from Jaylen Brown. The defense looks as good as ever. The shooting looks as good as ever. They look like swaggy. They look like they just won a championship, and they're coming out and they're showing everybody that they're trying to go back to back. So I don't have any issue putting the Celtics number 1. I feel like they're just a step ahead of every other team in the league right now, and it's gonna keep going like that until we're proven otherwise, in my opinion. So that is my power rankings, my top 5 teams in the league after week 1. Make sure you leave a like on this video if you like the power rankings, and I'll be back next week regardless of if you like it or not, because I'm trying to start a new series. Catch you on the next one.